if you start talking crap. So he comes out and goes, well, Jalen Hurts is a guy who is becoming a problem for the coaches inside because they're pointing out, and I'm paraphrasing, they're pointing out some of the things when he's going through missed throws. And Hurts is becoming, and I'm paraphrasing this, that he's not really listening to the coaches anymore. And he's not caring what they're really saying anymore because, okay, he's got the contract and he knows he won't be benched. I'll tell you how I took that before I hear you. Well, finally he went like this. There's no way they know more than me. And so maybe he finally has taken the leadership here and said, without further ado, I could not wait to get Angelo on. Here he is, the legendary Angelo Cataldi.
Hey, Dan.
You called it.
Wow. Let's not go over what, since I still said they're only going to win 10 games. What you're watching right now at the Eagles, I've never seen it.
Ever.
They scored 25 points, 26 points the last 2 games and beat 2 quality opponents. The offense, they took all these incredibly talented players and found a way to not score with them. They put a guy in charge who has no idea. Let me illustrate to you how bad Bobo Patullo is, all right? Just understand. So the last game, they targeted A.J. Brown 3 times, and the third one we think was not called. That was just a deep pass at the end. They kind of Jalen Hurts got together with A.J. and said, go deep, I'll throw one. Now, maybe it'll work, right? This week, in 35-mile-an-hour winds, they targeted A.J. Brown 8 times in the first half. 8 times. Let's sing. All right, so what is it? All or nothing? Like either we're going to ignore him or we're going to throw it to him every play. Which is it? There's no sense of logic in what they do. None whatsoever. Got all that talent and they can't score any freaking points, but they're 8-2. In total control of the conference. This is unprecedented. They don't, whatever they're giving Vic Fangio, right? Double it. He's saving the freaking team right now. And the 2 offensive geniuses, Sirianni and Patullo, no clue what they're doing. None. And they're 8-2. When they do an autopsy on Sirianni, after he passes, I hope many, many years from now, they will find lodged in his anal cavity the largest horseshoe you have ever seen in your life. There has never been, I called him in my blog this week, the luckiest man in professional sports, and I almost said sports history. This is insane that he just keeps winning. And then afterwards he goes, well, you know how to win. Yeah, when Vic Fangio's saving your ass every week.
He's terrible, Angelo. I mean, Angelo, what's up with that 4th down call at the end of the ball game? And then the players tried bailing him out prior in the previous week. Angelo, this guy is an awful coach he's just awful, man.
He's 62-26. He's 62-27. Something like he's got some insane record. Dan, that play, he was at his own 30-yard line. He was at his own 30-yard line, up 10. The other team could not score. They did whatever was going on. Dan Campbell wasn't having a great game as a play caller either. I'll tell you that. Yeah, but Goff couldn't throw in the win. Goff couldn't throw in the wind. You could see that. He couldn't hit anybody, right? Let's give them the ball at our 30. Make it interesting. The week after he had blown it the previous week and gave a short field to the Packers. Dan, they keep winning anyway.
I know.
They make the monumental mistakes. And they keep winning. What a world this is.
I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. I've never seen a coach have so much luck on his side and so many great players that are on his side. What do you make of the loss of Lane Johnson? How much does that affect, you think, the next couple weeks here? And most likely, too, Angelo, it looks like he may be lost for the rest of the regular season. Maybe you get him back in the playoffs if you're being optimistic.
He's still a hell of a player. He's still really great.
Absolutely.
And history tells you statistically that this will have a major impact, since the Eagles' records with Lane in the lineup and without are dramatic, very, very different. But I ain't predicting nothing anymore, because the horseshoe up the rear end of Nick Sirianni apparently is prevailing over everything. I'm telling you, Dan, what we're seeing, someday we'll look back on these years and go, how the hell did that guy win? Let's check some boxes. Is he an impressive force on the sidelines? Are you impressed with the way he carries himself?
No.
Right, that didn't work out so well. Is he impressive calling plays? Well, no, he stopped doing that after 7 games, right?
No.
So he's not a play. Is he an impressive offensive innovator?
No.
Hell no, not at all, right?
No.
Is he impressive in his news conferences to explain implausible decisions made? Right.
No.
What boxes is he? Maybe culture, I guess, culture. Because, he pretty much lets these guys, if the guy bitches the next game, they throw him 8 balls in the first half. So
in the win.
I guess that creates a very positive culture. Except the other receiver going, well, they throwing me the ball. What the hell is that about? Dan, I'm telling you, what you are witnessing the movie Being There. Peter Sellers was in it, and he was a moron, right? And Peter Sellers would say, the world is flat, and a world with, he'd make some dumb comment, and then people go, wow, he's profound. Actually, he was a moron.
Oh, my God.
Right? Go see that movie. You'll see that is Nick Sirianni. He just keeps falling into clover. No matter what he does, he lands. And everything's wonderful. They won again. And then the one thing we mastered is how to win the game. And you watch him, you go, I don't know what the hell he's doing.
I've lost.
He's 8-2, Dan. He's 8-2.
He fell in the clover.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I've never seen anything like this, ever.
Hey, so let me ask you.
I'm happy. This is me being happy.
He fell in the clover. Let me ask you about D Gunn's report that Hurts right now. And first and foremost, do you have respect for Derek Gunn?
Oh, one of the best. Great.
Okay.
Knows everything.
Then the report that has come out now is that, and Derek knows Big Dom. He knows Brandon Graham very well. He knows a bunch of people inside the organization. And as you know, Angelo, if you want to get your key fob taken away, start talking crap on the Eagles, because Bob Lang will parachute in and grab that key fob from you if you start talking crap. So he comes out and goes, well, Jalen Hurts is a guy who is becoming a problem for the coaches inside, because they're pointing out, and I'm paraphrasing, they're pointing out some of the things when he's going through missed throws, and Hurts is becoming, and I'm paraphrasing this, that he's not really listening to the coaches anymore, and he's not caring what they're really saying anymore, because, he's got the contract, and he knows he won't be benched. I'll tell you how I took that before I hear you. Well, finally, he went like this. There's no way they know more than me. And so maybe he finally has taken the leadership here and said, hey, guess what? I think these guys are buffoons anyway. And maybe he is calling out the coaches. How do you see this?
Yeah, it decided. First of all, if Derek Gunn is reporting is true, I can tell you that I have never one time heard a story that he reported that did not prove to be true. There is no one who's ever worked in the Eagles locker room who understands better what is going on in that locker room than Derek Gunn. Secondly, I want to try to relate this to people out there who, like me, through much of my career, worked for really stupid bosses. All right, really dumbasses. And they would hold a meeting and you would hear stuff and then you would have to hold back from rolling your eyes. And then as you were leaving the meeting, you said to anyone in earshot, well, that's 20 minutes I'll never get back. And then you would ignore absolutely everything they said and do what you knew was smarter than what they were telling you to do. The smartest guy in that room when they're talking offense is the quarterback. And listening to the crap that they're saying and doing based on what we're seeing in games, I would have the exact same reaction Jalen Hurts has. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. He hasn't looked very good the last couple of games. He hasn't. He has not looked good. Collinsworth out of nowhere is saying, well, he's holding back from running till the second half of the season, which that doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't believe that.
Everything is disoriented because of one reason. And it came up during the broadcast where for a couple of plays, they snapped the ball direct, no quarterback sneak. They went right up to the line, snapped the ball. They had motion. They had a lot of things that they used last year with Kellen Moore. And it was effective. And Collinsworth said, this is the Eagles' offense. What you see it here, this is what they're going to be doing more and more of. And then they didn't do it again. They only have a few pages left from the playbook that they had with Kellen Moore last year, right? But if you're the guy running that offense, and you understand that these people who are calling plays, who are devising strategies, have no idea what the hell they're doing. Are you going to just follow them blindly into the abyss?
No.
You have to counteract it. But I'm not saying it's affecting him clearly because he's not playing the way he did last year.
That's correct. He's not playing well right now.
Most of it, there's no deception. People aren't getting open. He's trapped back there. The line isn't as good as it used to be. You can give 10 reasons why Hurts hasn't been as good. The number one reason is the offensive coordinator. He doesn't know what he's doing, and the guy above him doesn't know what he's doing. But he's got one of the greatest records in the history of NFL coaching. And I'm telling you, you are witnessing a freaking football miracle every time that jackass goes on the sideline and wins another game. I'm telling you, there's no way. It's crazy.
This is the Eagle playbook that they have on the sidelines right here. This is the playbook. That's the size of it. I completely agree with you. I think that the coaches right now, I think they're all over the place. They don't have a clear game plan on what they want to do, and it's affecting everything. I mean, A.J. Brown, do you think he's going to be on this team the start of 2026 in September? Do you think the Eagles will move him?
You know, watching the 8 attempts in the first half and the big win made me wonder, because they have capitulated to him to the absolute extreme. And this isn't the first time. He made some negative comments, went on social media. He stirred up trouble. And then the next game, he was Puka Nakua. They just kept throwing the ball to him. It just shows you how indecisive they are, that they can't find a middle ground. They can't find a middle ground with a guy that talented. They can't find a place to put him where they can throw him the ball in open territory. He could break a tackle or two and run for a touchdown. You can't do it anymore, right? This is finding the same problem with Saquon Barkley. Barkley is not getting anywhere near the open territory he got last year.
You don't think he's toast, though? You think it's the way they're using him too?
I think they're at a point now where, like, they have to roll in Jeff Lurie, right? Jeff Lurie took time away from shopping for his next yacht to down to the practice to engage a 10-minute conversation with his rogue wide receiver so that he could get him back on point for a week or two. All right. I mean, that's the extent extreme. Lurie usually doesn't. It's not so obvious. Everyone sees him meeting with a player on the field. This doesn't happen. So they wanted everyone to see that Lurie was getting involved in this himself. Lurie wants you to understand. I see this as the problem. I got it. I'm one of the great owners of all time. I've been doing it for a quarter of a century now. They're doing the tributes to me on every network game we do. So you know that this is, I'll take care of this situation. I guess he got Brown to say, all right, you know what? I won't bitch for a couple of weeks. Throw me the ball. You throw you the ball, we're going to throw it 8 times in the first half. I hope you let a windy day, right? In the wind. On the worst conditions we've had all year, now we're going to target you. Now's the time to show what you can do with the ball fluttering all over the field. You're not no longer positive they'll keep him, but hopefully they're smart enough. Instead of getting rid of him, they're going to have to get rid of Patullo. And I would strongly urge them to bring in someone who is really smart at devising an offensive strategy and calling plays that maximize the talent. Because the talent is freaking there. Use it. There's no excuse for so few points against the Lions and Packers. They're not that great defensively that you shouldn't be racking up some points on them. And you're not getting anything. And Fangio keeps saving your ass.
So you on your blog said if you're looking for a hero, it's Vic and not Nick. That's the hero of this season so far. Is that right in your eyes?
It's Captain Obvious. Here's another part there that blows my mind. There are jackasses in this town, the media, that are writing, people that are giving Vic all the credit and not Nick don't know what they're talking about. Why don't you guys drop to your knees and kiss Sirianni's ass right in the news conference? Why do you have to pretend you have objectivity when all you keep doing is telling this guy how brilliant he is when the games are on TV and we can see otherwise? All right? Yeah, you can argue. Look at the record. Look at the record. You are what the record says you are. Problem is the games are tough. I could see I watched football for 65 freaking years, Dan. I have never seen this level of incompetence be rewarded with great records week after week. It's what you see. Don't listen. First of all, you're waiting to hear from Nick Sirianni why he went for it from his own 30 with 3 minutes to go, up 10, a windy night when the defense was dominated. You're never going to get a cohesive answer to that question because A, the guy who doesn't know, and B, if he did, he would not be able to articulate it. He is unable to communicate in a manner that makes you understand what he was thinking, if anything. It's, you know what? I'm an Eagle fan. They're 8-2. And all I'm doing is bitching. Because
hey, wait.
I got not.
How come? And please help me. And I looked at WIP as a centerpiece in sports talk radio. Why in the world is there so much donut glazing going on for that head coach right now? I mean, it's donut glazing. Like you said, he doesn't have a job, Angelo. I've been saying this for 3 years. He doesn't have a job. And you're telling me about culture? Well, guess what? You got reports coming out by Diane Rossini, D. Gunn. You got them saying that the culture inside the building's not good because the quarterback and the head coach and the OC are not the same page. You got A.J. Brown bitching every week. And like you said, you got the Yachtsman coming down talking to players on the field. I mean, what culture could there possibly be?
Yeah. And that's the only thing Sirianni supposedly does well. Remember, they're saying, well, one thing, they love playing for him. Well, even that seems disjointed this year. look, if you're being realistic, at some point the bottom drops.
That's right.
At some point, this is 2023. At some point, everything turns around and you start paying for these losses. Maybe it happens now that Lane Johnson is no longer there. That's a possibility. Or it's a possibility that Nick Sirianni stays at the table and just keeps rolling sets all the way to the end. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, Nick, Dan, there's not a team in the NFC this year that's very good. There's no great team. There's no really good team this year.
Yeah, but I don't even think the Eagles are a great team.
No, but if you end up with the first seed and you're playing 2 games at the link for the Super Bowl, you maybe don't have to be that great. Maybe you just need Vic Fangio to take that incredibly talented. Like I said, Howie Roseman on both sides of the ball has stacked the deck. The Eagles have the best talent in the NFL. Never mind the NFC. They have the best talent. Now, the fact is this coaching staff, specifically Sirianni and Patullo, going to be able to exploit and not win another Super Bowl? It looks to me like they got as good a shot, probably the best shot, of getting back to the Super Bowl. What happens in those?
I got one last one. You help me on this then. How come you have great coaches like Christian Parker, Bobby King, Clint Hurt on defense, and Vic Fangio? These guys are all going to potentially get coordinating jobs in the offseason, especially if the Eagles go on and cross the finish line here. And then you turn around and you got a first-year play caller, a guy who makes decisions like he does in games at the end of ball games that almost cost you games in the last 2 weeks. You've got completely incompetent guys on that side of the ball. No wonder the quarterback is on the 28th ranked offense. I mean, how come that's set up like that? If they're so smart, Angelo, why aren't they smart on the offensive side? Is it more about control on that side of the ball on how they want to approach games? Because on defense, they just look like they give Vic Fangio carte blanche.
They have to. They don't know the defense. Sirianni will tell you he is not a defensive guy. He will tell you he is a CEO, but his expertise is offense. So those people on the offensive staff are Sirianni guys. You understand? People he picked out. He saw them and went, wow, that's a brilliant guy. I'm going to get him to coach a quarterback. Sorry, Stoutland, Jeff Stoutland is a very good coach, offensive line, although this year it hasn't been as effective. But and defense, those are Fangio guys or people that were already there that Fangio turned into his guys because he knows what he's doing. It's so obvious when you watch these games. Fangio knows what he's doing. The Lions tried 5 times in that game on 4th down. 5 4th down. And the week before, when Dan Campbell took over the play, he dazzled. So they went, wow, then they must have a lot of great play calls. And the play calls, Fangio knew what they were doing every time.
Every time.
5 freaking times. That is great coaching. You want me to talk positive about the Eagles? I could talk for an hour about Fangio and defense and how brilliantly he's taken that talent and made it work. He lost half his starters and put back a better unit that he had that won the Super Bowl.
Crazy.
You want to talk about a guy who's really doing a great job? Fangio is doing a great job. Sirianni and Patullo and that crew are a pack of morons. And I'm telling you, Dan, somehow he was so good at his job that he's covered for those guys. Can he do it all year? I'm no longer making predictions. Every time I open my mouth, I look like a moron because of that horseshoe up the man's rear end. It's way up there. It's big horseshoe right in the old keister. I'm telling you, Dan. It's amazing.
Oh my God. Hey, Angelo,
I wasn't happy. I'd be bitching today.
Hey, wait a minute, Angelo. I'll tell you what, you are missed in Philly on the radio for sure. And we're so glad that I could get you here because, dude, Bob Lang and that Eagle people, they would be, you talk about horseshoes and where they are.
He'd be having a stroke if I was saying this on WIP. He'd have 2 phones in his ear, calling everybody that owns WIP. Get this guy off. We're 8-2. We're 8-2. But I watched the game. What do you want me to do? I watched the game.
Oh my God. Angelo, I love you so much, man. And I thank you. By the way, I sent a text to Rhea, and I thanked her very much for like watching the show. And she goes, "You're quite a character." And I was like this, she goes, "And that's a massive compliment. I think you're quite a character." So I enjoy going back and forth. And I go, "Well, I enjoy listening to you." She goes, "No, you enjoy listening to the morning show." I said, "No, I didn't say that. I said, I enjoy listening to you."
Do you want real, raw honesty on what's going on? We'll give it to you every time. For all the years I work with her, God bless her. She knows what's happening.
AngeloCataldi.com. Make sure you guys check it out. He's got a post there right now that says, if Philadelphia is looking for a hero, he's in the name of Vic Fangio. He's the Southern Italian. He's the Sicilian, not the Northern Italian. Hey, Angelo, thank you.
Both Italians, you realize that? Both sides of the ball, Italians everywhere.
I get accused of going, "Hey, Sills, you're such an Italian lover." And, it's almost like hate on hate. And I go, well, he's like from Northern Italy, from what I understand. So those guys are like Frenchmen. I'm more down to the South End, though. So I'm more. Be good, Angelo. Thank you, my friend. Absolutely, man.